Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, good as well. Just I got up. I guess you can see it from my face. Just had my
Yes.
breakfast as well. So yeah,
Okay.
just getting ready for the day. And
Right.
what's up with you?
I think I actually had a follow-up appointment for my that leg issue. So wait,
Uh-huh.
distance change here, doctor. So let's hope, inshallah, that is good. Proves beneficial, inshallah.
Inshallah. And you were saying you got a new physiotherapist who seems really nice.
Yes, so back in Hyderabad, actually, in April, I my one of my maternal uncles, he brought this person who proved to be, alhamdulillah, very different from all other physiotherapists I have experienced. And the difference that I found in him was he's actually into sports. So he's a sports physiotherapist. So
Uh-huh.
because of that, I think you can understand, sports physiotherapists have a different approach. They're a bit more physically active, both themselves as well as when they treat someone with
For
them
their
as well. They
clients.
are right, exactly. With their clients, they're also a little bit physical, and that's something alhamdulillah, it was different and it helped me. So more than me, it was him in the end who got tired because he was the one, lifting my leg and everything. So yeah, that was the
Right.
first experience, and yeah, it proved to be pretty good, alhamdulillah. But a month he came, and then Bakrid aage, and I came here. But alhamdulillah, it was a good experience. And he actually, what he made me do was the cycling movement, and he advised me to do cycling. So here, like I mentioned, past videos, my sister is living in an apartment complex. So it's a good complex. It has
Right.
good amenities, gym and everything. So I started visiting it for the cycling stuff. So let's hope, inshallah, it proves beneficial.
Inshallah, inshallah. Yeah. Hopefully, he's doing his job to the full potential, I guess. That's what you're saying. So, inshallah,
Absolutely.
hopefully it will make a good difference in your health.
Amin, inshallah, for sure. So what about you?
Okay. So, yeah, actually,
Yeah.
this past weekend, I had a family gathering at one of my
Uh-huh.
relatives' places.
Right.
So, I wanted to share how things happen here, usually like how dawats and parties or events happen. So
Right.
I just wanted to give a brief and how I liked it actually. So basically we had this, it was a small gathering जैसा अपने पास घर पे दावत रहती है वैसा
Right.
gathering थी just known लोगों की because one of my दूर के रिश्तेदार उनकी he was living here alone, he was studying actually, so he graduated, so his parents also came and all that for so उनके लिए दावत रखे थे कि उनके पेरेंट्स वगैरह आए,
Right.
ग्रेजुएशन हुआ, सो तो फैमिली को भी बुलाए थे, रिलेटिव्स वगैरह. So the invitation was given to us about 3 weeks out. So ये एक चीज है, and it's like 3 weeks out is, it's a norm here that people do not give short notices. समझ रहे आप?
Mhm.
शॉर्ट
Yes.
नोटिस के जैसा अपने पास है हैदराबाद में, 3-4 days इज द मैक्स, पीपल समझते हैं कि भाई दावत दे दिए एंड दे आर
Right.
एक्सपेक्टेड टू मेक इट, यू आर
True.
एक्सपेक्टेड टू मेक, अगर आप नहीं गए देन अ लॉट ऑफ गॉसिप्स गो ऑन एंड स्टफ कि भाई उन्होंने नहीं आए, उन्होंने क्या कि समझ रहे थे अपने आप को एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ, दे आर थिंकिंग समथिंग
Right.
अबाउट
Right.
देमसेल्व्स. And I think unfortunately it still goes on in our families as well, and we can hear it
Yeah.
in some conversation or the other. So
Right. Right.
that's what's about. But here, 3 weeks out, they give the invitation, and it's not some a hard and fast rule of 3 weeks or something. I mean, it's well ahead of time so that a
Right. Well
person
in
can plan.
advance.
Yes, so the person can plan, and if he has anything apart from that on that day, he can, respectfully decline and say that he has another commitment. And
Mm.
even if you do that, that is understood by the host as well, rather than keeping names or rather than, making into a gossip topic. Uh, Everything is taken into consideration and understood, even by
Yes.
our own Hyderabadis here, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, so there is a shift of mindset when you move to another place. People need to understand because everybody has busy schedules. Uh, Everything is different over here. So accordingly,
Right.
uh, I think 80 to 90% of people, Hyderabadis or any other Indians or Desi people, they all understand because everybody
Yes,
knows
yes.
that यहाँ पे it's different than in uh, at your home places or at your native places.
Right.
So, um, so that was about the invite, and Alhamdulillah, everything went well. But one of my close relatives, who was also invited, he couldn't make it. So I was
Mhm.
surprised. I reached out to him later for some work. So I called him. I mentioned that I was expecting you over there. You weren't. So he was like, yeah, I got an invite of a wedding. Um back in February itself, you know,
Oh, nice.
back
Right,
in
right.
February for that same day. So I had given my commitment, I had RSVP'd, and that's the reason because I had given my commitment, even if it was our close relatives' small party, I had to decline. And I had spoken to the host, and they also, accepted why I was declining.
Mhm.
So it's a respectable, what do you call conversation, and everybody understands. That's what my thing is, what I
Right.
liked about it. So
Mhm.
I think these things have to be inculcated in our lives in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, में जो लोग रह रहे,
Hyderabad, yes.
and
Yes,
all are,
yes.
yeah, people need to, slowly and steadily they need to get these things. So they have these, compassionate understandings or whatever appointments people have, they have those things. You cannot be uh, just चलो भाई दावत आ गई and you have to leave everything. So
हाँ,
it's not that.
सही है.
And one more thing is, I was surprised was 4 months back you were giving a wedding invite. समझ रहा?
Right.
4 months back
Yes, yes.
because यहाँ पे क्या है, as I mentioned again, busy schedules and everybody has their own plans and stuff, and especially in summers, सबके पास
Right.
वीकेंड के प्लान्स या ये प्लान्स, क्योंकि समर आते ही 4 महीने 5 महीने के लिए,
Mhm.
अब उसमें एंजॉय नहीं करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे बोल के लोग क्या कह रहा था, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सबके वैरायटी ऑफ प्लान्स रहते हैं।
Right,
तो
right.
ही हैड मेंशन कि भाई I had committed and it was, and also it gives an opportunity to the host, right? कि
Yes,
अब आप
yes.
February में he gave the invite, so he has like uh, if even if everything has to be finalized by uh, April, and he has 3 months, February, March, and April, to get the RSVPs for all the people who are making it, and
Right.
he can, arrange that number of seats at the venue, that number of catering, and not, waste excessive money, right? Because यहाँ पे तो in comparison to what we pay over there, unless you are doing very extravagant spending, here it is, even if you're doing a normal wedding, it's the costings are high, right? Per
Yes,
plate
yes.
and stuff.
Right.
So that's the reason every seat is counted here for events. So you
Yes,
have to RSVP if you're coming or if you're not. And
yes.
if you mention you're not, and then if you arrive, then you don't have a seat. So
You're
you
right,
have to
right.
be aware of that. Yeah. So and that everybody, obviously कुछ ना कुछ जुगाड़ करते होंगे, लेकिन मैं जहाँ तक सुना कि भाई uh, there's no seat for you if you have told that you're not
Mm.
coming, then there is no seat for your place because everything is strictly followed. तो
Correct,
ये एक
correct.
चीज है वो कि भाई अब किसी का प्लान चेंज हो गया आ गए, अपने इंडिया में क्या है,
हाँ,
चलो भाई आ गए भाई आ जाओ बोल के रहता, लेकिन
right,
यहाँ पे
right.
वैसा नहीं है। अपने पास क्या है, अब अगर 1,000 लोगों की दावत है So, the bawarchi or the caterer will keep this thing in mind that, there will be a little bit of, extras or a little bit less or something will happen. So he keeps 100 to 200 people's food will be there
Right.
extra.
Right.
Uh, तो अगर लोग कम आओ भी तो भी वो खाना खत्म हो जाता या यू नो
Mhm.
बिकॉज अपने पास इतने ऐसे लोग हैं जो बगैर विदाउट इनवाइट्स भी यू माइट हैव हर्ड दे जस्ट गेट इन
Right.
एंड
Right. Yes.
दे हैव इट सो
Yes.
मतलब obviously it's wrong but people still do it so
Mhm.
I think, in olden times, like I think 15, 20 years back, people used to actively give a couple of people, that was their only job in the Khandan, that you have to look for people who are just coming in and eating like this.
Same.
It used to
Same.
be there like 15, 20
Right.
years
Right.
before. Jab itna, events and functions
Yeah.
were very tough on the pocket. So
Yes.
people
Yes.
used to do. अभी तो काफी एडवांस हो गया हैदराबाद एंड काफी लोग माशाल्लाह आगे बढ़ गए तो फिर
Mashallah.
भी
Yes.
उतना उतना ज्यादा लेवल पे वो नहीं कर रहे लेकिन बट स्टिल अर्लियर इट वाज अ स्पेसिफिक जॉब के भाई आप लोग कीप अ वॉच ऑन द मेहमान एंड हु
Yes.
इज लुकिंग from none of the sides you
Right.
can
Right.
ask
Right.
questions and yeah so क्योंकि ऐसे ही 100-200 का हो जाता ना तो
Same.
नेम जो होस्ट रहता उसका ही रेपुटेशन इज एट द लाइन
No, no, sorry. I just remembered when you mentioned about the extra people coming in without invite. Not for a wedding, but like I said, back in Kingdom, we used to call each other for iftar. So यहाँ
राइट
पर our first Ramadan was, if you remember, in 11th standard. Ramadan came in summer. So Kim Abdul Aziz said, entire Ramadan should be holiday. So I think for me, and I think for me, I don't know about you, but for me, that was the first in my life, Ramadan in India वाला experience. तो
हाँ
वहाँ वो टाइम पे डैड जो है ना एक अरेंज किए थे ही डिड इट इन अ फंक्शन हॉल बिकॉज थोड़े मेहमान घर पे रिलेटिव्स कॉलिंग रिलेटिव
राइट
ज़्यादा रहते हैं तो ही डिड इट इन अ फंक्शन हॉल बट मोर देन अस ऑब्वियसली एक तो इफ्तार भी है तो वो भी एक चीज़ सोच के कहीं ज़्यादा यू नो दूसरे लोग आ गए थे जो मेन आना था वो लोग भी सही से नहीं आ सके तो डैट वाज वेरी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड लाइक नहीं ऐसा नहीं करना करना एक आध लोग रनमेश बुला लेना फंक्शन हॉल पे तो बिल्कुल नहीं करना ऑफ कोर्स इट वाज इफ्तार सो आई थिंक पीपल थॉट के इट इज समथिंग गुड एंड ऑल इट बट इट दैट वाज
दावत
द
आम
केस
है
दावत आम ऐसा कुछ समझ के आए थे होंगे बट इट वाज वेरी लाइक बहुत ही गड़बड़ हो गई थी उसमें
हाँ
so, for shadis as well, yes, definitely a lot of people come uninvited, random people as well. And obviously, उसपे, like you mentioned earlier, maybe people used to do it, अब तो खैर उतना नहीं करते. But one more thing is के the way the weddings are planned, that also because अपने पास सिर्फ estimate करते हैं कि भाई इनके पास से कितने आ रहे, and it's a
राइट
function hall. There is no per table kind of a thing, it's just a function hall. कितने भी
या
लोग आओ करो. I think maybe you may have, I don't know, you tell me if you have an experience of hosting a wedding feast or a walima in a banquet hall rather than a wedding hall. Because I think in a banquet hall, you will have per person kind of a charge.
uh banquet halls there are a lot of banquet halls right now in Hyderabad and not mine but for my cousin we had done in a banquet hall. But
Mm.
it is the same thing, it
Acha.
depends on the number of people. You just tell the number of people, and then because the caterer is different and
Right.
the hall rental is different. So
Yes.
they at the hall owner or the management will tell you this is the capacity of the hall, and accordingly you invite people, and then you tell the caterer as well that these are the number of people. So it's not about, there is still a gap in Hyderabad that
Mm.
I think it is there for events which uh, I think different communities they follow. They give the
Right.
entire wedding to a wedding planner and they do entire
Ah,
thing, everything. So that
yes,
is a
yes.
complete package. But in our weddings, what we do is we do everything separately, usually.
Right.
So it doesn't come as a package. I myself, for my reception, I had done all the I had handled the caterer. I was myself the the groom, but I was handling
Yeah.
the caterer as well because I'm a
Yeah.
foodie. So I was like, अब मैं ही करूँगा ये किसी की responsibility नहीं रहेगी. So
Right.
yeah, it was good. But yeah, that the management of the catering company, they were just, on the stage, they were just coming and telling something in my ear and going and all that stuff was happening.
Right, right, right.
Whatever questions they had to ask, they just had to because I was the main person of contact. So
Hmm.
I, it was actually something that I should have given to someone else, but I just wanted to, have that control in my hands. So, yeah, it went that way, but it was pretty smooth and everything went well.
Yes, yes,
So,
alhamdulillah.
so I don't have their, they haven't paid anything to me, so I won't tell their name right now.
No, no,
But they
no.
did a really good job, hopefully
Yes,
in the
yes.
future. So, yeah, and so it is, these things have to be upgraded, I think, and people have to understand when you are giving invites and people not showing up. So everybody has their own lives and something or the other may come up. But that understanding is definitely here, and those things and the invites, as I mentioned, are well in advance, which helps everyone, the host as well as the guest. So these are a few things which we can learn from the North American countries and try to inculcate them in back home.
Inshallah. Yes, definitely.
So yeah, it's a positive learning, I would say.
Absolutely. No, no, absolutely.
So let's continue tomorrow, and
Right.
hopefully you have some good plans about our next topics.
Yes,
And
yes.
I look forward to start with them tomorrow.
Sure, we'll do that. Okay.
Okay,
Allah.
take care. Allah
You,
Hafiz.
you too. Allah Hafiz.
If you enjoyed this, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram as well. Drop a comment with the topics you'd like us to discuss in the future, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.